Yeah, hello folks, it's me back again. Another 24 hours using this player, and what can I say? It's quite a nice little player. I like all the little settings in here. I used the balanced port here. I used the balanced port about 3-4 hours ago, and the sound from it is not bad at all. It's got a lot of power. That's the first thing I noticed. It has a lot more power when you use the balance port. That goes up to about 80 using one of my headphones, using this one, using the Oppo. When you use the 3.5mm using the Oppo PM3, as you can see that, it goes up to 80. When I use my FHO FH1, and I have a balanced port. This is just a normal 3.5mm. This is just a normal 3.5mm port, but I have a balanced port here. Where is it? Somewhere here anyway, it's up there somewhere. Right, I've got a balanced port and I used it. And the first thing I noticed when I used it, it went very, very loud. So it was giving me, the 3.5 I was getting up to 80. With this I was getting up to 36. Up to 36, and it was loud and it was more dynamic, more powerful. So if you can use the port here, I advise you to use it. What else? I was going into the settings, and I went into the settings. I've actually put this on my Wi-Fi, and I upgraded this. It's now been upgraded to, what's it called? System Hi-Fi 1.06. I think that's the latest. Anyway, I upgraded it a couple of hours ago. So I think the latest is 109. It should say 109 here. Anyway, I did a firmware upgrade, and it's still saying 106. I don't know what. Anyway, I did a firmware upgrade, but it's still saying 106. So I'm surprised at that. Anyway, I'll do it again. So sound quality wise, I compare this with my trusty Sony A45. As you can see, it's got a better screen than the A45. This is a brighter screen. The R3 screen is just beautiful and gorgeous. The colors really, really pop. First, I thought it was an OLED screen, but then I realized it's just a high quality IPS panel, which is very good. So I compared both using my favorite album, Curtis Harding, Soul Power. Love that album. I compared both of them sound-wise, and this is my observation using my headphones. My ears are different from other people's ears. I use my PM3, and I use my FHO FH1s, which are these ones here. And my ears are different from other people's ears. Now, sound-wise, comparing both of them, remember this one just has the 3.5mm end here, and I'm comparing the 3.5 of this compared with the 3.5 of this. The 2.5 of this, the R3 is definitely more powerful, more dynamic. Now sound wise, using this 3.5, I think the better player of the two is the Sony. To my ears, the Sony sounds better. And why do I say that? With this, the bass doesn't go as deep as I really wanted it to. The bass is, I tried to use the this M8 thing. This M8 setting is quite nice. It works, but it just doesn't go as deep as the Sony here. And another thing I'm missing from this player, this R3 player, is the treble. Where is the treble disappeared to? The treble on here is just, it doesn't sound right to my ears. I don't know what it is. It sounds splashy. The treble just doesn't come alive when I'm using this player. When I'm using this player with the same sound with the Sony A45, the treble just comes in and then it hits hard, and it's so airy. There's a lot more sound. There's a bigger sound stage with this player. This player is okay, but it's like, I don't know what it is. The sound quality is just average on this. Sorry to say it, guys, but the sound quality is average on this. I'm just being honest. My ears are different from other people. Other people might listen to it and love the sound. The sound is okay. The sound is normal, but there's not that step up. I wanted it to be better than this, my Sony. I wanted to obviously justify keeping this, but the Sony just did it a bit more for me. The mids on here as well, the Sony mids a bit more forward, which I like. I like my vocals coming a bit forward in my music. The vocals on here, the mids on here were okay, but nothing spectacular, nothing that made me excited. If I could see that, and I do like the Sony sound. The Sony sound is has a warm tilt to it. It's fuller, it's meatier. This one, it's slightly warm as well, slightly neutral as well, and I don't like sterile sounds. This slightly sterile. That's why the bass isn't really jumping at me, and that's why I prefer the Sony. Apart from that, the battery life on this seems to be going down quite fast. Well, I wouldn't say fast, but the battery life, when I used the balance port and I raised it up, the battery life was dropping a bit fast to my liking. But that's it. Apart from that, it's a very good player. If you want to buy it, it's got a great connection, got a good port, good settings. It does have a line out as well. If I go in here, you can change your theme on here. It's brilliant. Backlight, USB mode, button operator screen, clock display, idle. So if you can see that control by wire where you can use a connection, you can use a remote to control it. It works. I've used it. You got the different genres, and it sounds good. I wanted it to sound better than my Sony, but the Sony sounds just a bit better. It's got more attack to it. It's got more fuller attacky sound that I like. This one, good sound as well, but average, not as good as the Sony. If you want to buy it, if you want to use this player, this R3, it will be great because I love the Hiby software. It'll be great as a transport. If you find a nice amp, you can connect this to an amp and you can use it as an amp. And if you want to use the port, I'd advise you to use the balance port. The balance port is just powerful, but it gives the music a bit more dynamics, but it's still lacking that treble that I like, that airiness to the sound, that sound stage. It's missed it a bit, but that's to my ears. Other people will love the sound. I find it a bit average. I found the Sony sound to be a lot better, and that's just my opinion, really. People can have their own, but Hiby, well done. It's a good dab for a start, but I want you to step up the sound quality on this. I really wanted that sound to be a lot better than this, especially using the DAC you used here. I don't know, it just trying to use the equalizer to get it together. When I tried to use the equalizer, it just muddied the sound, lowered the volume. I didn't use that at all. The MSEB is quite good, gives a gradual bump to the sound, but still couldn't give it that little warmth and oomph that I like, that little treble sparkle. This is a better all-rounder. This is basically what I'm trying to say. The A45 is a better all-rounder, and it has that power as well. But Sony, get rid of this bloody WM port, please. USB now. Sony, hey, long time, change that now. It's about time you change. It's 2018 now. Get rid of this. If I can put a knife to that and get rid of it. Anyway, that's my quick thoughts about the R3. Great player. I just wish it sounded a bit better. It sounds average to my ears, and my opinion, buy it if you like it. It has a lot of features in there. I haven't gone through all the features, but you can read it online. You go to their site, you can read it. But I do recommend it. I think it's a beautiful player, but I've got Sony, and I tried to justify keeping this, but I couldn't. I'm gonna sell it eventually. But my Sony so far is the better music player for me, and I'll see you guys later. Hopefully, I'll have another video soon. I'm gonna probably do a lot more videos now. This is an S8. I'm using the S8 S9 Plus camera, and I've just been impressed by the microphone on this thing. The mic on this S9 camera, phone camera is nice. Anyway, see you guys later. Peace.